Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is EverQuest Project 1999. And today we're on the green server on the level 36 Enchanter Al Bundy. No, ma'am. Oh, man. I said the green server, right? We're in Valius. We're in Crystal Caverns. This is first time you've seen my Enchanter here, and first time that I've played him in a long time too. So back on the Enchanter. Uh, 36 is where we left off. We are here with Trey on his Paladin. I think his Paladin is like 39, 40, 41, somewhere around there. It might say here in a second. I can't remember for sure, but we're starting in the Dwarf Town, heading down to Geos, and yeah, somebody just ran by and was hoping they weren't going to the Geos because it's a very desirable camp, and it's like you're lucky if you get it sometimes. But we were going to try to do Enchanter Paladin duo against the Geos, which is a very, very good plat camp, which I showed in my last video. In my last video, we did the Shadow Knight Mage duo against the Geos. This will be different. Um, Different because my Enchanter, I haven't played in a while, and I'll be charm fighting. I'm going to charm a pet and use it while we fight the Geos. So figuring out like what to charm and how to do that again, and first time back in a long time. Enchanter is pretty like it takes a lot of skill to play one good. Some enchanters just sit there in a group and do clarity and aug and mez every once in a while, a little bit of crowd control and blast here and there. But I feel like good enchanters will charm and have a charmed pet in their groups as well, even in a duo. So I'm trying to be a good enchanter, but I'm not saying I'm like an expert or anything. I might be using the wrong spells at the wrong time, but it works for me. So what I got on my bar here, we're level 36. I don't think I even have all my spells. I've since gone to the tunnel and got a bunch of the spells. I still need to give them to him, but in current day, he's actually level 42, I think. So I've really been playing it. I've been enjoying it. But I got Root up there, upper left, Root. And then I have Color Shift, which is a stun. And then I think the next one there is Beguile, so my charm. And then I have either Chaos Flux or Anarchy, like a direct damage spell there. The next one, I'm not sure what. Oh, I had Entrance just in case I had to mesmerize. I got Tashani, of course. I got some buffs. I got Aug and Clarity or something on the bottom. So that's what I have on the bar right now. Giving Trey his Paladin there Clarity, making sure I have Clarity, he has Clarity. Making sure he's Auged. Make him faster, give him good stats. I think I technically no, I think I got Solaire. Nah, that's like 39. Never mind. Anyway, so the order of these videos. So you guys have seen Crystal Caverns a couple of times now. First glimpse you probably had of it might have just been that THJ video I did where Thug was there exploring for the first time. And then I had the Necromancer actually looking around and killing stuff, killing the Queen. That was another video. I did the music one with the music from Crystal Caverns, which was cool. And then we did the duo. First time we're looking at the Geos, which is a really good plat camp, was the Shadow Knight Mage duo, where they're like level 50, early 50s. So more towards the end of what level, the highest level you'd want to be fighting these. Which you can fight these all the way to 60. Don't get me wrong, because they're good plat. But as far as like still getting experience, 51, 52 is about the tippy top. Start to green out. They're level 37 max. But here we are. Okay, I'm level 36. So some of these Geos are going to be yellow to me in this video. So just keep that in mind. The stuff I'm charming, whether it's a Geo or a Terror or a Spider, are more closer to my level than normal. And my gear isn't the greatest on this Enchanter at the moment because I kind of was playing him for a while and then I stopped playing him. So I don't know what happened, but like he has no ring. One of his ring slots is missing. He somehow is wearing a cloth like back piece and a cloth shoulder piece, and he just doesn't have like the best equipment. Some of it's good, and some of it's like not good at all. So I've also been in the tunnel trying to get him some decent stuff for those slots, which it's hard, man. There's some slots on some characters where it's like just hard to find something good. Like on my Shadow Knight, I think it was like leggings. On the Enchanter, it is back piece. Or no, shoulders. It's one of the two. Can't remember which one it is. It's either shoulders or back piece. Embroidered black cape is like one of the best things you can get, unless you want to. I don't know. The loam encrusted set is like the only other real thing for shoulders and back. So it gets kind of hard with some of the slots to fill the slots. But yeah, here we are. This footage is like super long. Like I gotta really, for some reason, I recorded for like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna show the whole entire thing, but what I want to do is show you me being rusty, starting to remember how to fight with my Enchanter, and then I might like take the middle portion out, and then you can see towards the end when I'm starting to get a little bit better. I mean, this is just over 2 hours, so I'm not gonna, totally de-rust. But you'll see how I start fighting against the Geos, and then you'll see towards the end if I'm doing any better by the end. So right now, of course, we're just buffing up, getting ready. We're happy that they're open and buffing up right now. So we could skip ahead a little bit here. I mean, we don't need to see all this. Fighting the Terror. I'm trying to charm the Terror. So that was the first thing. Trying to charm it, and at level 36, you're going to see it's not going to work very well. So there's a Terror at the very beginning of the Geo Tunnel. Some people include it with their camp, some people don't. Depends. If you're able to kill them all quickly and easily, you might include the Terror. And if you are having trouble even keeping all the Geos down, you might try not to include the Terror. And then if you're super high level and you don't even care about the Terror, you might not kill the Terror. But I think somewhere in the middle you do include the Terror. But super early when you're having lots of trouble, you don't, because you want to kill the least things you can. And then super late when you're just worried about the Geos and that's it, you don't kill it. But I think in the middle there, when it's still giving experience, you might as well kill it. All right, so I've been trying to charm the Terror because I thought it would make a really good pet. So what I normally do, it's different when you're in a duo than when you're fighting solo. So, but when I'm in a duo, what I like to do, I like to keep the same pet. Normally when I'm going to charm something, ideally, I might start invis. Man, see how much trouble I'm having with this thing? I'm about to die. I'm just trying to stun it. I'm trying to recharm it. He's over there fighting a Geo, so he can't even really help me. I think he did heal me, though. And, man, I'm having lots of trouble with this thing. So I end up rooting it. And I'm like, screw that thing. I already, like, lost it, like, 3 times. And, if it's going to be that much trouble, then it's not worth it. So I hit the Geo with, I think, Tashani there, and now I'm going to Anarchy. So this first fight did not go well, for me at least. The idea was, man, there's the Terror, and it's usually like kind of part of the camp, like I was saying earlier. So instead of like killing it, I'll charm it and use it to fight the Geos. But that just didn't happen. So I told him just kill it. It's annoying me. I keep losing it as my pet. I don't have sympathetic aura on, and my charisma isn't through the roof. But man, it was just tough to keep charmed. So I'm telling him, let's just kill it, because it's been too much trouble. It's costing me too much mana, too much HP. I'm almost dying. Let's get rid of that thing. I don't want it as my pet now. So we killed the first Geo. I tried to charm the Terror. I used it to fight the Geo for like a second, but it kept coming uncharmed. So I'm not going to end up using it. We're killing it. But what I normally do is like, I don't know, when I'm in a duo, you want a Tashani before you charm. And sometimes I have trouble figuring out how to do that exactly. But I think sometimes I'll like invis, calm it, then maybe hit it with Tashani, and then it'll come rushing at me, and then I'll color shift, and then I'll charm it. Sometimes I do it that way. If I have more time, if we're not like already in a fight, so it always depends, right? If you're in the middle of a fight, you're not going to take an hour to root something, mez it, Tashani it, charm it, wait for the root to break, wait for the mez to break, while your partner's like fighting something in a life and death situation. You're not going to be like, yeah. So it depends. So if it's like before a fight, I might do all that. Like I've rooted something to shiny it and then charm it, and then that's going to be my pet. So now it's like magic resistance is lower. Hopefully the charm won't wear off, or it won't resist as much when I try to recharm it or stun it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like Tashani's always a good first start before you do anything on your enchanter. Lower magic resistance. So, ideally, if I'm getting a pet to fight with for a while, I'd probably either root or mez it, then Tashani, then charm, then wait for the mez or the root to break, and then get into the fight. But I didn't really think. I haven't been playing my enchanter, so we were already in a fight, so I just needed to have a pet, so I just went ahead and charmed it without Tashaniing it, and then it just kept breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking, and I don't think it would have been any different even if I had Tashanied it, so I said, screw that pet, let's get rid of it, and I'll try to get something else here. So we have to, that whole fight went crazy. I lost a lot of HP, used a lot of mana. He probably had to use extra mana because he was healing me, and he was pretty much fighting the Geo by himself. So first fight kind of didn't go so well. But I said right there, I'm going to be rusty. And it's the truth. There's different ways, though, on an enchanter. I'm sure I've talked about it like a million times if you go back in all my enchanter videos. But, when you're soloing, you kind of play one way, especially if you're charm fighting. And there's different ways to solo. And then when you're in a group, there's different ways to be in a group. I prefer to have a charmed pet, so I'm doing as much as I can to help the group. But some enchanters are just there to buff and mez. You could have your little sword and board pet, but that thing is so annoying. Like some people probably think why would you deal with a charmed pet? It's so much trouble. It's going to break charm in the middle of a fight. You have to keep recharming it. What if it is low on HP? What if whatever? It is kind of annoying, but it's way better than the sword and board pet who you can't even tell what to do. It's that stupid. So enchanter pets are annoying. They'll just start attacking something for whatever reason. They won't stop attacking something if you ask them to. They won't attack something that you need them to attack. You can't do anything. The only thing you can tell them is to go away. And the only way I've found to use them is you have to intentionally get aggro so you get hit, and then your pet will jump in. And by the time you do that, you're losing HP every fight, and then by the time you get that to happen, the fight's 25% over, then the pet sucks anyway and it's barely doing anything. So I don't like to use the sword and board pet, and I think most enchanters should be done with that, not using it anymore, probably by mid-20s. The pet's all right in the beginning of the game, it's decent. I'd say up until 20s. But once you get your charm and your mez and you're starting to get stuns and memory blurs and all that stuff, you should probably start charming more, because even a charmed, I feel like if the right charmed enchanter pet is going to be stronger than any pet in the game. That's why enchanters are able to do the things that they're able to do, and they're considered one of the best solos in the game, because they can take an enemy who's supposed to be fought by multiple players, make it their pet, and then have it fight another enemy, where they have to make, mage pets are awesome, necro pets are good, whatever, but they're also it's taken into consideration that, hey, this is a player's pet. It's going to be fighting the enemies, the AI enemies, so it can't be too strong, or else it's going to be too easy. But if you're taking control of an enemy and making it fight another enemy, that's probably the strongest in the game. But it breaks. You don't get to keep it forever. You gotta always be on your toes. As a enchanter, like I said in another video, my shaman felt too busy, too busybody. But it was the worst kind of busybody. It was me doing squats and rebuffing and healing and controlling a crappy weak pet. But on Enchanter, it's super busy. Hold on a sec. I'm going to try something. With the mic. For some reason, it's always capturing my... I don't want to say it, but, I want to, try it down here, maybe. Let's see if it's still registering okay. Is it still doing okay here? Maybe. It looks all right. But like Enchanter's busybody too, but it's the cool kind of, it's the rewarding type of busybody. You're giving people clarity and aug and mezzing and saving your whole group, or you got a charmed pet that's really strong, just kicking butt. You can get pets that can backstab and cast spells, and it's really fun. Because you can get like most classes have a pet and it does a certain thing and that's all it can do, and you're gonna get bored of it. With Enchanter though, you can charm all kinds of different stuff. I could charm a shaman pet, I can get a wizard pet, I can get a rogue pet. It's pretty fun. So what I decided to do here is I'm going to charm a spider. I think a spider is going to be my best bet for my first charmed pet fighting the Geos at level 36. The spiders are a little bit lower level, but they're still going to be strong enough to be a good pet against the Geos. So what I ended up doing, I think I did it okay there, huh? I don't remember I didn't watch what I was casting, but probably Tishani'd it that time, and I got my charisma buff on. But here's a focus gem. That's what we're looking for. It's the second one we're killing now. We got a focus gem. I send the pet in. Send the pet in. I am casting slow. Probably should have Tishani'd first, but it's okay. I learn. So I got the pet going. Let's see how the pet's doing. 18, bashing for 18. Missing, I guess. Or I'm not close enough. I can never tell. Okay, wait. 49 points of damage. Crystal, there go. 58. 49, 58. 36 there. 12. 36. 68. Pretty nice, right? 68 again. If you look at what Trey's hitting for, he's hitting way faster and doing way more damage, but just like 21, 5. So that pet is kicking some butt. 68, 68. Pretty nice. So just like see what the pet's doing, and that's why I charm a pet. I think it kicks some butt. But we need... It's not going to be able to tank for us, and Trey's hitting way fast. I'm not saying it's better than him or anything like that. Just don't get me wrong. I'm saying it's better than other pets. That's what I'm saying. It's better than my Necro pet, for sure. If like a similar level. If I had a level 45 spider or my level 45 Spectre pet, the spider might be better. I don't know. Spectre pet is pretty good, though. It's something I had to buy for a lot of plat. Alright, doing Troll Illusion because I get extra regen, and sometimes I get hit, and I like to keep my HP up. It only gives you like 1 extra HP per tick, though. It's not crazy, but I think it's a min-max that you might want to do. Make sure if you're missing any HP, do your Troll Illusion. So I did Tishani there. Then I slow it. Well, I send the pet in first. Then I do Tishani, then I do slow, and then I just try to pretty much sit and get my mana back. I feel like the pet's doing good work, and I want to try to keep my mana to where I have enough for future Geos. Because we're going to be going from Geo to Geo to Geo to Geo, plus my pet's going to break here or there. It's one thing you got to keep in mind when you have a charmed pet. You want to have like 40% mana just in case the pet breaks. Because if the pet breaks, and sometimes the pet will break at the worst possible time, and then you're not like ready for it to break. You might be in the middle of casting a spell. You know what I mean? You might be in the middle. You might have just hit Anarchy to shoot the Geo, and then your pet breaks and just charges you out of nowhere, and you're like a little bit too close. So now you're getting hit by your pet, and you're like trying to decide whether you're going to finish that Anarchy or duck out of it and start dealing with that pet. And then you got to color shift to stun it. And what if it resists? Let's say it resists, and then you're like, oh crap, so now you're trying to root it. And let's say you get it rooted, and then you go to charm it, and you charm it, but now it's just sitting there rooted. It's annoying. I don't know. It just costs a lot of mana sometimes to recharm a pet, and it depends how often it breaks too. If it's breaking every minute, it costs lots of mana. Like you got to make sure you have a certain amount just in case, like for worst case scenarios. So send the pet in. We got a gem collector this time. Gem collector is a good one. It's a named, so we're gonna get a good gem. I'll try to pay attention to what it is. You guys will probably see it. But send the pet in to Shawnee, slow it, and that's pretty much my job. I might throw a direct damage if I have the mana. So Anarchy, here it goes. Boom, 279. I think I got a new direct damage called Gravity Flux. I don't know for sure if it's like a direct replace, like if it's better than Anarchy. I think it's supposed to be. Talked about like throwing them up in the air and whatnot. That sounds pretty cool. All right, we got a chipped black sapphire. That's a really good one. On my Enchanter, that sells for like 175 plat or something. It's like the second best one that I know of. All right, heading up to the next one. Another thing you want to do when you aren't fighting with a charmed pet is to tell it to guard and then sit far away from it so you have time. It's going to break at the worst times when you're not expecting it to. So, like, pretty much always be expecting it to break and, like, put yourself in a situation where you have a second to think before it breaks. Like, right there, I was standing right next to it and it breaks. So, what do? Color shift, stun it, and then recharm, because we're in the middle of a fight. I'm not going to sit here and take forever to recharm my pet. I'm going to try to get it recharmed as fast as possible, send it back into battle. So, I took a couple of hits there, so that's why I'm in troll form. Even though Trey could heal me, I'd rather have Trey be healing himself than healing me. But also, if I'm under like 50% HP, that's not that much HP, and I could die pretty quickly. So try to keep my HP up as much as I can. I say the spider's way more obedient. Might have something to do with me Tashaniing it and having a charisma buff on now, but I think it's also that it's a level or two lower than the terror was. So fighting the Geo, kicking some butt, hitting for 68 damage, man. Be good. I love charming. My Enchanter's really fun. I don't know why. I stopped playing it because you guys were kind of getting bored of it, but I think it's just going to get more and more and more interesting as we go. Like, we're just now getting to where we're super powerful and we can, like, crawl dungeons and stuff. So if you hang in there with me, man, I'm going to be soloing, I'm going to be duoing, I'm going to be charm fighting most of the time. I don't really see me going back to using my sword and board pet, maybe here and there. Like, I think we had a session where it was my Enchanter and his mage, so his mage was just smoking everything, and I just didn't charm a pet because it was too much trouble for what it was worth when he's just smoking everything anyway. But here we're both around the same level, and the Geos are closer to us in level, so we needed everything we could get. Sending that pet in. 61 points of damage. One thing I don't do, even though, I don't know, I think I do it eventually and it helps out a lot. One thing I wasn't doing here, that you're going to see me doing later, I think, is giving my pet, it might not even be on this one, like it might be another session. Like I learned later that I want to give my pet, augmentation as well. So I give Trey aug, but I should give my pet aug too, and give my pet strength, like buff it up a little bit. If I'm going to be using it, why not buff it up? The only downside to buffing up your pet real good is that when it breaks, it's going to be hitting you harder and you faster. So here he's breaking a lot right now. Sometimes that happens, man. That's when your mana's going to... That's why I try to keep a certain amount of mana. So ideally, it would be nice to just be shooting direct damage spells off back to back to back to back. But I've always got to keep in mind that my pet might break at any moment. There's no guarantee. Look, and then the freaking Geo resists the Anarchy. That was annoying. So I tosh it. I feel like Trey's HP was getting too low there, so I wanted to finish this freaking Geo off. Our first run through with these two characters, so it's a little bit dicey. Breaking again. You see how many times that broke in like 3 minutes there? It's crazy. Like once a minute for 3 minutes. It's nuts. So color shift, charm. The reason you do the stun is because it's very quick. It's quick and it stuns them for a pretty good amount of time. So sort your spells in order of how quick they are for recharming. So you might do something different than I do. But I think color shift, your stun is your fastest cast. It's like a second and a half. So by the time you realize that it's broken, you're starting to click that. And then hopefully before it hits you more than once or twice, you're stunning it. And then it's going to be stunned just long enough to where you can charm it. If you really don't want to get hit at all, what you do is, I think you charm it, and then you mez it, and then you can Tashani it, and then you can charm it. But that's when you're not in the middle of a fight, right? Like right there, I probably could have done that. It's just a mana issue. I didn't want to cast another spell or two when I was that low on mana. But it's all like you got to make decisions on the fly. You really got to trade your spells in and out on the fly. Like if I want to break this pet, I'm gonna have to put invisibility on and then cast invisibility to break the pet. If I want memory blur to, that's one thing I need to. I'm like okay at charming, but one thing I need to learn is how. And we were talking about this I think before I stopped playing my Enchanter, and I still don't know what I'm doing like 100%. But I'm not very good at memory blur. A really useful tool for an Enchanter to make the enemies forget about you. You use it when you get something you just don't want to fight. You use it when you have a charmed pet that you want to gain back its HP quicker. Very useful. You have a lot of useful tools in your spell book, and sometimes there's not enough room on your bar, so you're gonna have to switch them in and out. Be ready to do that. Like be in your spell book, know where everything is, and have a slot that's just a rotation of spells. It's like I need root for sure, because like it's my backup if my stun doesn't work, you know? And then I need charm, because I'm going to be casting it a lot. I need a direct damage, because that's my way of helping do damage other than the pet. Like the entrance, it was kind of just there, like the mez, just in case we got multiples. Somehow we got more than one Geo, I could mez one of them. Tashani, I think you just have to have up, because you're going to be casting it like every fight. Slow is the spell under Tashani, and I'm supposed to be casting that every fight, so Trey doesn't have to take as much damage. And then, you know, I have a slot down at the bottom that's kind of like a rotation, but I keep my buffs down there. Maybe I should have Gate up just in case, but Invis, Clarity, Aug, Memory Blur. There's lots of stuff that could go in that slot. But yeah, I think I have a better slow, but I just didn't get it. I think it's Tepid Deeds. Like I was using Languid Pace for this session, and that's it's like a level 24 spell maybe, or maybe even lower. But I just hadn't gotten Tepid Deeds yet, but now I have it. I said charming so active I can't go AFK at all. Yeah. It's like on like on my Shadow Knight, if we're medding up, I can go AFK. Yeah. On my Necro, if I'm medding up, as long as I don't lich myself to death, I can go AFK. On my Shaman even I could go AFK, but on Enchanter you can't. Like if you have a charmed pet, you can't go AFK. It's good because it could break. As soon as you stand up and walk out of the room, it could break, and now you're getting attacked. And yeah, so Enchanter, charm fighting, expect to be locked in for however long it takes. But we'll watch this entire run through of the Geos, and then I might just skip to the end and watch one more entire go through of the Geos once we're I don't even know how many we do. It's a very long recording of this. This is one of our sessions. And like I was trying to say earlier, this is not in chronological order. I just wanted to show something different. Like the next thing that technically happened that I recorded was I think another session of Shadow Knight Mage doing Geos, but I just showed that to you guys. I didn't want to show that again. And then the one after that was, I think, like Shadow Knight Mage doing spiders and terrors, and then I think eventually doing Geos, but it was more like spiders and terrors duoing. Just, I was kind of showing Trey all the spiders and all the terrors. Then technically the next footage after that was my Shadow Knight soloing. I think spiders and terrors, and then there might even been Shadow Knight soloing Geos, and then it was this. So, and then I solo with my Enchanter against orcs, I think after this. But I wanted to show my Enchanter. I've been promising it. Somebody asked for it in the comments, and this was the first time I recorded my Enchanter, so since a while. It's breaking again. At least it's not as bad as the Terror, but it just goes in streaks. Sometimes I'll charm the spider. Sometimes I'll charm something, and it will stay charmed for like 5 straight minutes. Sometimes I'll charm it, and it'll break after 30 seconds. It's an average. I don't get mad. Like, as long as it stays charmed for 5 minutes, like every other time or so, I'm fine with that. But sometimes it's going to break every 30 seconds for like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then finally you'll get it for 5 minutes. And then you'll get it for 5 minutes again, and then you'll get it for 5 minutes again, and then it'll break every 30 seconds 3 times in a row. Like, you gotta just be ready for it. Just expect it to break at any time. So have mana. I like 40%. I like sitting around 40% is what I decided, I think, eventually. Shooting off that direct damage. Boom. Yeah, what did I get in the tunnel with my Necro? So I got a teleport from Trey because I needed to buy my 39 spells. So I sent my Necro to Neriak because he knows Neriak, and I know there's enchanters, Dark Elf enchanters. So I sent my Necro to Neriak with Trey's help, and because he's bound outside of Crystal Caverns. You know, I could use the OT hammer, but that just helps me go to the bank. It doesn't really help me get anywhere, except for Hammer Hill, I guess, but then I'd have to pay for a port. So Trey ports me for free to Lava Storm, and then I run to Nectalis, I go to Neriak, I buy all my level 39 spells for my Enchanter, which I got Celerity, which is my next speed buff. I got, I think, a new charm. I got like a new, I think root or something, and another like buff or something. Wasn't anything too crazy except for Celerity. I wasn't that excited about anything except for that. So then I ran to the tunnel. I'm like, I'm going to try to get all these research spells that I haven't gotten yet, which I think I talked about in the last video too, but ended up getting Tepid Deeds, I think Mana Sieve, man, I can't remember, but I just started buying all the spells that I was missing. There was a good one that I got that I'm not thinking of. There was one I didn't get. It's called Feedback. It's like a direct damage, or a damage shield. Which I don't know how an enchanter would use a damage shield, really. Like, I guess you could put it on yourself, or maybe I could put it on Trey. I don't think I'd put it on my pet, though, unless I was... I don't think I would, honestly. Because charm fighting is completely different than... Now, when you're charm fighting, you just want the two things to be damaging each other equal amounts, so then you can kill them both and get experience for both of them. Like, you kill your pet on purpose, and then you kill the thing that your pet was fighting, and you do it in that order. That way, all the damage the pet did is gone because your pet's dead, and you get experience for both. So you'll use the enemy to knock down your pet, use your pet to knock down the enemy. They fight each other while you're sitting there, and just rerouting the one that's not your pet, and recharming the one that is your pet. And then by the time they both have like less than 20%, you tell them to stop fighting. You separate them like you're a bouncer at a bar. You're like, hold on now. Calm down, guys. You got them. You win. You got them. Calm down, boys. You know, you say, calm down. Come here, pet. Guard. Now stay. Stay. Let's keep that guy over there. We'll root him. Root, stay over there. You stay over there. You guard right here. You're both really hurt. You know, you won. It's good. Separate. You got them. You're done. Right? And then you go and viz. And then your pet says, hey, well, I'm not your pet anymore. And he runs at you, tries to punch, swings at you, does a windmill punch, you duck under it. You do your color shift, you stun him, boom, you blow him up, you get a full experience for your pet. You reroute the one that your pet was fighting. Your pet's totally dead, so all that credit is gone. And then you just blow it up in one direct damage spell and get a full experience for that too. So 2 for the price of 1. It's really fun. I'll show you guys that. Maybe not next, but coming very soon. I have some of that recorded. We're trying. So the problem here is we're not killing fast enough. So the geonids are spawning in behind us. I don't know that they weren't aggro yet because this is the first time we were fighting them. So, or we just killed the last one or something. I don't know. Look at that one. It's yellow. See? So they're re-popping. They do add. He was asking if they add. I think they add. I'm pretty sure. I've seen them add before. So we're like trying to... Are we going to kill that Slag Terror? Are we going to kill this Geo here? But anyway, that was our first run-through of the Geos. So let's skip ahead to our like last go-through. Let's see if I can find it. Where are we at here? Okay. We'll go to the very end of this footage. Okay, here we are with the dwarfs. Working our way up. Charming a spider. Alright, here we go. So my spider just broke. We're waiting on the first one here. Like I said, I don't want to show you all the entire 2.5 hours of us doing this, but recharming, telling it to sit, that's another thing you can do. If your pet starts to lose HP for some reason, you can tell it to sit, and it's just like you sitting, kind of. It doesn't really help a lot, but the memory blur thing was what I was talking about. So that's one thing Ooh, I'm about to ding, too. About to ding. About 4 to 5 more kills. Like, ding. Nice. About to hit 37. Then I'll be a real boy. I can do Geos for real. No, I don't know. But, memory blur, man. Like, I don't know. I was having trouble last time I was playing. I don't know. If you go back in my Enchanter playlist, I'm going to put this one on my Enchanter playlist. I have playlists for all these. So if you want to watch my Necromancer, there's an entire playlist with probably hundreds of videos on it from him going from 0 to 60 and then stuff in his 60s too, like exploring and dungeon crawling and all kinds of stuff. But you can see, you can go, if you wanted to, if you're a level 29 Necromancer, you could go back in my playlist and find where I was level 29 and see what I was doing. So that's the beauty of it. I have a long playlist of me going from 0 to 60, pretty much just soloing on my Necromancer. And then there's another one on my Shaman, going from 0 to 54. And I tried to do different spots. I tried to do Kunark more. So my Necro was more doing Classic. He was doing Oasis and Guck and Kazakh and whatever, But my Shaman did a lot of Kunark, because it's a Ixar Shaman. Did a lot of Kunark. And then you guys picked the Enchanter. So on the Enchanter, it was more kind of like charm fighting, and I started over in Akanon, and I tried to do that side because I did Unrest and Mistmore and Crushbone and stuff over there because I really hadn't fought over there with my Necro as much. And now we're in Valius, but all my characters are in Valius now. Then we did the Shadow Knight. Shadow Knight was more like what did I do with my Shadow Knight mostly? I'm trying to think. We did Tower Frozen Shadow for quite a while. We were going the other way. We were going like, we went like Firat, Wrath Mountains, Lake Wrath, the Karanas. We tried to go that way. So on my characters, I try to go different ways, do different things, different parts of the world. So no matter, like, if you're a Necro, you can watch my Necro playlist. If you're my Shadow Knight, you can watch my Shadow Knight playlist. If you're a Shaman, you can watch my Shaman playlist. And if you're an Enchanter, you can watch my Enchanter playlist. But also, no matter what you are, if you watch my Necro, you're going to get a certain part of the world. If you watch my Shadow Knight, you're going to get a certain part of the world. It's almost like if you're Dark Elf or Necro, you could watch my Necromancer playlist. If you're Gnome or an Enchanter, you can watch my Gnome playlist. If you're Ixar or Shaman, you can watch my Shaman playlist, right? And if you're Shadow Knight or Ogre, you can watch my Shadow Knight playlist. So that's how it goes. You could be an Ogre Warrior and maybe get something out of my Shadow Knight. You could be an freaking Gnome Warrior and get something out of my Gnome playlist, you know? That's how I tried to do it. I keep trying to talk about memory blur, and I keep forgetting to finish talking about it. Somebody out there tell me, because I was in Guck. It was like one of the last videos I did before I paused my Enchanter for a while. And I would get attacked by frogs, and then I would try to memory blur them. And it's always like barely working. Like it wouldn't work very good. Like I would root them. I would try to get as far away as possible from them. I would memory blur. And then I would memory blur again. I'd memory blur again. And then I would assume, and then I'd like run around a corner somewhere. So you would assume that the thing would not come after me when root broke. But then it would just come a running. It would come after me, and I'd be like, dude, what was the point of doing all that memory blurring if it's not going to work? And like the same one, I would try it again. I'd like root it. I would memory blur. I would like go around the corner, and it would still be looking at me. You know how that goes. How do people do that, dude? Like, they say if you root something and then you memory blur it, if it doesn't follow you with its eyes, then it's forgotten about you. But how do you do that without it seeing you? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm close enough for it to see me, it's going to see me, whether it's memory blurred or not, if it's aggro. I don't know how to even do that for real, unless you're, like, super far away. But sometimes you're in a dungeon, and, like, you can't get super far away. So how do you memory blur, like, when you're in tight quarters? You can't... Memory blur is not like LOL or COM. You have to, like, see them to do it. You can't just go around the corner and memory blur. I wish you could. I don't think you can. But I don't know. I need some tips on how to memory blur better. Especially what I really want it for is to, if I get a really good pet and I don't want to charm fight, like, and I just want to use the pet to fight, again a duo, but maybe like solo. Like let's just say I get the perfect pet and I don't want to kill it. And I just have an awesome pet. I have a wizard pet that's just smashing stuff and like just blowing it up. And I don't want to get rid of it. And I gave it a weapon and I got it all buffed up and stuff. And I just don't want to lose it. And then, but it gets like really close to dying. Like it's got like 10% HP left. And it's taking, like, I don't want it to be sitting there forever trying to get its HP back. Like, that's usually when you would break it and then memory blur it and then let it get all of its HP back. Because once something's not a pet and not aggro to you, the HP, like, goes up quickly because it's, like, not in a fight. And the enemies, if they're not in an active fight, like, their HP goes up quick, you know? Like, normally. Because, like, if somebody's fighting something and then they zone out, that enemy's going to go back to where it started, and then its HP is going to go up pretty quickly back to full HP, right? So what you can do with the pet, if you like have a really good pet that you like and you gave a weapon to and you fully buffed up, but it's only got like 10% HP, you break it on purpose and then you memory blur it, and then it gets all of its HP back, and then you recharm it, and now it's good to go again. And it shouldn't take that long. It's definitely way faster than like telling it to sit and waiting forever for it to get HP back like you do. But I just can't ever make it work right, especially in a dungeon. Like outdoors, I could probably do it because I could get really far away. If I'm outdoors and there's nothing else around, then I could do it. I should probably practice outdoors like that. But if I was outdoors, I would just invis, root it. I'd get as far away as possible. I'd like say guard. And then I'd get really far away, and then I would invis and break it, and then root it, and then memory blur it, and then be super far away. Memory blur like as far away as I can, like multiple times, and then it would probably work, right? But it's when you're in a dungeon that sucks. Like I want it to work in a dungeon. If you're in a hallway, like right here, if I wanted to memory blur that spider right there, if I root it right there, and I back up, and then I memory blur it, let's say like there's nowhere to go, like my back's against a wall, So even though I memory blurred it, it can still see me. So it doesn't work. Like, you have to be far enough. You have to be out of its aggro range. I'm pretty sure. It sucks, man. It don't work. Like, maybe if I was way down there at that rock with that crystal, maybe, and it was rooted right where it's at, maybe. But that's what I was doing with the frog, and it just wasn't working. And then I would go around the corner, try to get out of its... I don't know, man. Like, I need tips on how to memory blur a pet so I can get its HP back quicker. And I think people did give me tips, but... Hey, we just got a chipped amber off a Geo. All right, let's watch these fights. Let's see if I did good, and then we'll get out of here for today. Remember, I'm doing Wednesdays and Sundays again, both commentated. I do have some videos. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the footage, because it's like kind of redundant. It's like Shadow Knight Mage going through the Geos again type of stuff. So I don't know. Am I going to like commentate that again? Do you guys care if there's no commentary videos? Like, I'd prefer to be putting out commentary videos on Wednesday and Sunday, but maybe here and there I might put out a no commentary on Sunday, and it would be something like that because it's just something we've already seen. But I said I should probably just get J Boots on Thug is what I was thinking. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I want to buy for my Shadow Knight, but at this point, I was all in on my Shadow Knight, and now I'm kind of wanting to do my Enchanter more. I see how people they become altaholics. I'm really not one, even though I have 4 characters now. My Shaman's pretty much a nothing burger. I'm not going to play that until... Probably not going to play my Shaman again until I get my Shadow Knight and my Enchanter to 60. Then I might work on it, but... Dude, I went from 0 to 60 on my Necro without playing nothing else. I didn't even start another character. And then on my Shaman, same thing. I went to 0 to 54 without even starting another character. And then it's just like, since that didn't work and you guys weren't feeling the Shaman, that made me like start to make more characters for YouTube. But if it was all the way up to me, I think it would be a different... If I didn't do YouTube, I would have went 0 to 60 on my Necro, and then I probably would have went 0 to 60 on my Shaman, and then I probably would have... I don't know what I would have played next, because you guys picked for me. I might have made like a Druid or something. See, it resists color shift. So I'll go ahead and cast Charm anyway. Sometimes I do that. I don't know. I got Panic. It ends up working, but... One thing I'm not doing, I don't think I'm doing, you want to have your damage shield up, or whatever you want to call it, your absorption, your damage absorption, like your barrier. You want to have that up as much as possible. I know it's expensive, but what I like to do, I got Rune 1, Rune 2, and Rune 3. So sometimes I'll just cast like Rune 1 or Rune 2. But it's hard to like have the regents for all 3 of them. I get it. Like I had the regents for 2 and 3 at one point, and I was using 2 because it's cheaper. As long as it buys you enough time to recharm your pet, that's all you really need it for. So your pet breaks charm, it runs at you. You have rune on, so it's trying to hit you, but it has to go through a certain amount of barrier damage first. So while it's doing that, that's when you're stunning it and recharming it and stuff. Like on my Necromancer, to cast Mana Shield, it costs like a Peridot, which is like 10 plat. And sometimes I feel like it's not worth it. You know what I mean? If I'm going into some super dangerous situation, I'll use it. And Mana Shield does give you like one more tick of mana per, like one more mana per tick or something. So it's kind of like good for that too. But man, 10 plat, and it goes away so quick. Like you'll get hit and it's gone, like so fast. Same thing with this, like you use it to not die, but you're not gonna like put it on every single time it wears off, or pet breaks, and dude, I'm having so much trouble here. Finally get a stun off, back up a little bit. I need to do that more. Sometimes I'll stun it and I just stand there like an idiot. Why not back up while my global cooldown's happening? Finally get it recharmed. That took a while. Sometimes like Tashani wears off and my sympathetic aura wears off, and sometimes they're just spiders being a butthole. Right, get in there, spider. You're 40% health. Che, we're about done anyway, so we can kill the spider, get experience. Cast Tashani, cast slow, go back, sit, because I'm all pretty low on... I consider 40% like 20% on my Enchanter. I will cast a DD. I want to get it like at least one tick over 40 before I do it, though. Probably what I'm doing. These Geos, sometimes line of sight, you got to be like up a little bit closer. Sometimes it works, though. So test it before you assume you have to get up closer. Like, that worked. Oh, another thing, what I was trying to do... So when we were fighting these Geos... Hey, ding, baby. Ding 37, say grats in the chat, in the comments. That'll be the secret word. Easy one this time. Just say grats on 37 or something. So what I was doing is I would send the spider in. I want Trey to do something first, to make the first move, right? So whatever he would do, sometimes he would cast a spell first, sometimes he would just run up to the Geo and start fighting it. So I let him lead the way because he's level 41 or 42 here, and I just dinged 37, so I was letting him lead the way. So whatever he makes the first move, and then I would send the spider in, and then I would cast Tashani, because that's going to help me with everything after that by lowering its magic resistance. Then I cast slow. The sooner the better, so Trey takes less damage. So the pet's fighting it, Trey's fighting it. It's slowed. It's Tashani'd. And then ideally, I would sit there and gain some mana back. And I would wait for the Geo to be... I try to perfectly time it to where I can hit the Geo with the Anarchy and then make it run. Because that saves Trey some HP, right? If I can perfectly time a direct damage spell to hit it to where it knocks it right into range of running, that's what I love to do. I feel like it's fun to try to do, you know? You try to figure out, like, when's the perfect time to cast this spell to do the perfect amount of damage to put it to where it's running so he's not taking damage more. So at the beginning of the fight, I'm casting slow to try to save him some HP. And at the end of the fight, I'm casting a direct damage to try to make it run so it saves him some HP. If I cast the direct damage while it's already running, that doesn't help him save any HP, right? Right? We're just chasing it down and trying to kill it off. Like, it's not hitting us anymore. So I feel like the best time, whether you're a wizard or as long as if you're doing any kind of direct damage spell, the best time to hit it is to knock it right. And even before that, you know, but like you don't want to get aggro either. So you don't want to be like pumping out direct damage spells at the beginning of the fight, like back to back to back to back. Then you're going to pull aggro, and that's annoying. Like, then you're going to be getting hit. He's going to be running all over the place. So it's really fun to try to like do the perfect, like right here. Let's see if it happens. What am I doing? Boom. Does it run? Pretty close. I didn't get aggro. Let's see. There might be another Geo too close. Sometimes that's the case and it doesn't run. I think in that case there was another Geo up nearby. But if there's no Geos up and we're fighting one, that's what I was trying to do the whole time, like with my direct damage spell. If I had enough mana, I was trying to make it to where I hit it perfectly. Like, I want that 279th damage to make it run. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, if I cast a spell earlier the better. You don't want like half of your direct damage making it run and then half of it hitting it while it's running, you know what I mean? So earlier the better, but also not too early or you're gonna get aggro. So it was like, how long can I wait before I cast this? How much mana can I get back before it's time to cast my direct damage to then perfectly hit it to make it run? So that was the whole game I was playing. And then the whole time I'm like recharming. Is it Tashani'd? Do I got all my buffs on? Does he got all his buffs on? So there's a lot going on there. I keep thinking of more things that I was thinking about and doing while I was doing this. I think this was like 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty much like 2 or 3 weeks behind. I currently, right this second, we're kind of like almost done with the Mage and Shadow Knight in Crystal Caverns thing. So we're still there, but we're kind of decide what we're doing. I'm playing my Enchanter. My Enchanter's soloed the orcs. I've soloed the terrors. I've soloed the spiders. I've now tried to solo the geos. I'm not quite ready for that yet, but I tried. I killed like 6 out of 8 of them. I was doing okay. I wasn't fast enough solo. So there's always like 2 left over. I would go back to the beginning, kill 6, 2 still up. Have to go back to the beginning, kill 6, 2 still up. That's what kind of was happening. So Enchanter's like doing Crystal Caverns right now, pretty much full-fledged. Shaman's nearby if we need sows. Necro's going out, getting spells, getting stuff, you know, being the errand boy. But also could do other things if I want him to. I could go finish off Khazak Thul or do something else with him if we want to. But he's pretty much not going to be doing Crystal Caverns. Unless I go like I might do like a whole run through of the entire zone with my Necro. Just to show it off, like the entire thing. Like every freaking corner and cave. Which I still need to do. I'd almost do that with my Shadow Knight, but I think I'd use my Necro. But Enchanter's really the one actually doing the real fighting in Crystal Caverns currently. But you guys still have a lot more to see. So I think I need to. I might take my Necro to Khazak Thul and finish that off so we can have like a break up the content a little bit. So what's going to probably happen, we did Shadow Knight Mage killing Geos, and now you're seeing Enchanter killing Geos with the Paladin. And then maybe I should put in like a Necro in Khazak Thul or something to give you all a break from Crystal Caverns. Because then you're going to have to see Shadow Knight soloing in Crystal Caverns, and then you're going to have to see Enchanter soloing in Crystal Caverns. And, you know, so, and there's probably like multiple. Then you might have to see Mage and Shadow Knight against Spiders and Terrors in Crystal Caverns. And then you're going to have to see like Necromancer crawling the entire thing and showing every nook and cranny of Crystal Caverns. So it's going to be a lot of Crystal Caverns back to back to back to back to back. So I probably should take my Necromancer out and do other stuff to splice in there every once in a while. It's either that or we can knock out Crystal Caverns in about 3 weeks and get it all the way done. But I don't know. I think it's probably better to splice in some other stuff. So I'm gonna keep that in mind, that I want to make sure my Necro goes out and does different things in the meantime while I have all that, because I already recorded all that stuff. So there's like probably 6 videos of Crystal Caverns recorded, like without audio, without commentary, that I need to do. So I need to go out and like at least do 2 or 3 things that aren't Crystal Caverns to splice in there every once in a while, so you guys aren't bombarded by Crystal Caverns back to back to back to back to back. Keeping my pet far away from me, you know? I don't want him too far away, but I don't want him too close either in case he breaks charm. I want him close enough that he will listen to me when I say to attack the Geos. If he's too far away, he won't attack it. He'll just stand where he is. If you tell it to guard and you don't bring it with you, they'll just stay. It won't, if it can't see it, if the Geo's not in range, it won't attack it. So then you have to hit follow and then attack. So you want your charmed pet close enough that it will attack the target, but not close enough that, you know, if it breaks charm, you want to have a second or two to think of what you're going to cast. So Spider. How much is Spider doing? I don't know. We can't tell. We're not close enough, I don't think. Or else it's just missing a bunch. All right, Charm wears off right in the middle of an Anarchy. That's what I was talking about earlier. So we're going to color shift because it's super fast. Boom. Back up a little bit. I'm getting smarter. Beguile. Got him. He didn't even hit me after the stun. That's what you're looking for. So I need to do that more. So I need to figure out Memory Blur. And then I need to remember... I don't even know if I was using my global cooldown on this video. That's another thing. I have a global cooldown on my Enchanter, and I wasn't using it in this. I use it now, and I definitely use it when I solo. But that's one thing you definitely want to have. Like on my Necro, I have one. On my Enchanter, I have one. I think I have one on my Shaman. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have one on my Shadow Knight, but it's something you click in between spells to reset your global cooldown so you can cast the next spell faster. Totally works, and it's super awesome, especially on a Enchanter, because you're going to want to be like stun, charm. You want to be like, you know, stun, mez, Tashani, charm. Like you want to do like 4 spells back to back to back to back real quick. It's like you do stun, global cooldown, mez, global cooldown, Tashani, global cooldown, charm, global cooldown. Yeah. So what you have a thing you click like I have a wand I click that does alliance, and it's right there on my melee attack button, but I don't have it set up as a hotkey yet. But now I can just right click it in between every spell I do, and it resets your global cooldown, which is so nice. Like every caster should have it. If you cast any spells back to back, you should have a global cooldown. Like on my Necro, it's J Boots. On my Enchanter, it's that wand that does alliance. Some people do the Goblin ring, like the Gazugi ring or whatever. Some people have the Circlet of Shadows. Some people have like a telescope thing. Like, get yourself a global cooldown, man. If you don't have one, they're really nice, and it makes you so much better. Instead of waiting like forever to cast that next spell, you just get to cast it immediately. The only thing you can't do is cast the same spell back to back to back to back to back. You cast like one spell, you hit instead of waiting for the global cooldown, you can cast another spell immediately. All you gotta do is click your global cooldown thing. All right, we're killing the spider. I guess we're done here. I broke charm and I rooted it, and now Trey's killing it. Get to kill this stupid thing that was attacking me all day finally. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We did over an hour here. There's like 2.5 hours of footage, but hey, crystalline silk, another thing. Somebody let me know how much that is. I went to the tunnel and somebody wanted to buy it. I was on my Necro, and I'm supposed to shout somebody out too. Is it Zach? I'll have to go look. I need to shout you out. I think it was Zach. Shout out to Zach. $10 super chat, dude. Oh, if it's not, I'll put it in the comments. But I think, was it Zach? I think it was Zach. Shout out to you for that. I don't get very many on these P99 videos. He made a comment where he was like, I know I'm all over the place all the time. I think of stuff to say, and then I forget what I was talking about previous. But, shout out to Zach for the $10 super chat. I don't get them very often on here. I think mostly just Zach, Lisa, Jean, and Trey. That's about it. Maybe EQ emulation too. I don't want to start saying names or I'll forget some, but I can count them on like 2 hands, maybe 1 hand. How many people have... There might be some members out there though. Shout out to y'all. But like super chats, super thanks is what it is actually. Because he had asked like, dude, like, why do you play Gems of War? He said he'd love to see me just play this or like play other games like this. Like he couldn't imagine playing Gems of War after playing something like this and all that. I had to explain it to him, like, you know, the Gems of War people take care of me. They're the ones making it to where we can even do this. I would not have time to make these videos if it wasn't for Gems of War people. Plus, I'm really good at Gems of War. I'm like an expert at it. Like, I'm more of an expert at Gems of War than I am at this game. I wouldn't even consider myself even close to an expert on P99. There's just too much to know. Too many people that know way more than me. You know what I mean? I think I'm I think I'm like above average at this game, which is why I like it. I like it. It's difficult. It's a hard game to be like super awesome at. So being above average at EverQuest is like being elite at some other game. But they take care of me, basically. I would not be able to do this at all if it wasn't for Gems of War people. Like, Gems of War people are keeping me going, man. I wouldn't even have the laptop. I wouldn't have the PS5. The channel would not still be going. Like, they're keeping it going. Like, it's mostly through live streams, so you probably don't see and you probably don't get it. But we do live streams and, like the chat-a-thon and stuff like that. And there's a lot of members. And I'm just too loyal anyway. Like, if I keep doing YouTube, I'm probably going to keep doing Gems of War because it's the thing that got me seen, got me my first however many subscribers, got me monetized. Like, I'll never forget that. And I'm the type of person that's loyal. I don't change up on people. You can always count on me type of stuff. And you guys are you're right there. But I would have to see, like, major tick up in support to even consider it. And even then... it would just be like more I would never totally abandon Gems of War, so you would just get more. You know what I mean? It'd be worth it for me to do more of this, even though I love this. It's like my favorite game, so I'd love to play it more. Just doesn't make sense to only do this because of that. But anyway, I think that's about it for this one. I'm going to be playing the Enchanter more. I hope it was Zach that I was supposed to shout out. Maybe I'll go pause and double check here. Yep, it was Zach Thorpe. Zach Thorpe with the $10 and the $2. So shout out to Zach. Thank you so much. It helps a lot. Keeps the doors open and the lights on, and lets me do this. You know, like I explained to my Gems of War people, I have to explain to other people IRL, like why I'm taking so much time to make videos and play games and keep up with games. And, you know, I record the footage and then I have to make a video and it takes longer than you would think. It's like takes twice as long as it actually seems like it would. Like this 1 hour long video, it took me 2.5 hours to record the footage, and then it took me an hour at least to make the video. So that's 3.5 hours just to make this one video. Not even counting like responding to comments and making a thumbnail and doing all that stuff. It's probably like 4 hours just to make this one video. So just think about how much, you know what I mean? Like a person doesn't understand. All they understand is like, how much are you making to do that? You know, so it really helps a lot for me to be able to say, well, you know, I made this much this month, or I made this much this month, or whatever, and that's why I continue to do it to a person that doesn't care about anything except for, like, is it worth you doing that or not? Or are you just like sitting there playing video games? So hopefully you understand. I'm not trying to be greedy or beg or anything like that. It's just an easier for me to explain why I'm doing this to people that don't get it outside of, you know, our community. So, but anyway, I think I'm going to be done there. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel comment below. Next up, probably going to switch back and forth between things. So maybe the Enchanter soloing. It could be the Shadow Knight soloing. Or it could be the Necro and Khazad-dûl or something. But it's probably going to be something like that. Either one of those three things. You're either going to see Enchanter soloing Orcs here in Crystal Caverns. You know, 2-for-1 charm fighting. Or you're going to see Mage Shadow Knight duo, somewhere slightly different than Geos. Or you're going to see Necromancer finishing up Khazad-dûl, or getting further in there at least. Because I need to do that soon before I forget what I've done. I'll have to rewatch the video or something. But yeah, thank you so much. Shout out to Zach Thorpe. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.